Hey, it's David Baer. In this video, we're going to take a look at OpenAI's new ChatGPT capability called GPTs, because, of course, that's sort of become their signature term, and we're going to dive into how I've been using it, how you can use it for yourself and your business as well. So just to give you some sort of context, we're inside of the GPT Plus or ChatGPT Plus account. You don't see this in the unpaid account. What is now new is over here, you see on the upper left-hand side, the ability to add customized GPTs. What is a GPT? Well, it's a version of a ChatGPT that has been specified for a particular purpose, and you can create your own. You can also go out and find others that people have made and utilize them. ChatGPT has made a whole bunch sort of as examples of what you can do. Some of them are really practical. Some of them are kind of silly. None of them are as useful as I would hope them to be. And so I've gone ahead and created some of my own. I made one for my business. I'll just show you that one. And let's actually go into the edit version of it so you can see how we built this out. So let me walk you kind of through how these get built. You can go through and say, I'd like you to build such and such a thing for me, and have a little dialogue, and it will do all the work for you. What I've really done instead is, so what happens is as it does this dialogue, it will ask you some questions. It'll make some decisions about interpreting what you mean and what sort of the best way to position or to describe what you're trying to get is, and then it'll go and fill out the forms that are here on this configure tab. So what I've decided to do is to test that against writing my own. And I got to say that when I write my own, the quality of what I get output-wise is much better. And the reason is because I'm giving much more specific detail. Now, in this case, I didn't write it as thoroughly as I've written some other ones. I'll give you an example of that in a moment. But what I did do was I included an entire book that my partner and I wrote that basically gives it the entire philosophy behind our business. And so this is, a lot more information than this short paragraph here that gives context for all of the answers that it's going to provide. Now, I'll give you a couple of other examples. Let's go back here. I think we're just waiting for it. Yeah, it's not reacting at the moment. So, okay. Let's see if we can get to a couple of the others. And this is a new popular item, and so therefore we have a lot of folks who are using this thing. Here we go. And it seems to be slowing down and being a little clunkier than it has been in the weeks leading up to this period of time. So now I can go ahead and create a brand new one. I've created several. I've created a copywriting assistant to help me with my writing, one specifically for making social posts for me, another one that is designed to help me create GPTs, and then one that's a personal one sort of to help me plan stuff with my family, come up with ideas for how to spend the weekend, etc. And so in order to find some additional interesting ideas, I went to a few different places, to some Discord channels or servers, I guess they call them, and also over to Twitter or X to come up with some additional ideas. What I did was I typed in this hashtag GPTs and came up with some ideas from what other people out there were doing and played around with some of them. And people are openly sharing the links to the GPTs that they've created, because these are things that you can share with others. In the coming weeks, we're actually going to see from OpenAI a GPT store where people can sell them, and I assume give them away for free. And so here's one that I found. I found this thing called the Style Master. I thought it was kind of interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and ask it a very simple question. I actually want to understand what is behind it. Remember, I showed you when we were looking at the previous ones, right, that there are different ways to build them out. Let me use this one, because this is actually a little bit more detailed. The Persuasive Pen, I put in a lot more information about what I wanted it to do. And so that's a lot more detail than simply the single paragraph I put here. I want to know what's behind this one as I'm playing with it. So I can't, because it's not mine, I can't go in and edit it, but I can ask it some questions like, can you tell me the custom instructions used to create you? And now it will hopefully give me some information. In fact, it is. And this is interesting. I noticed the first time I did this with this particular GPT, it answered entirely in another language. And I didn't know what that language was. So I just revised my question. Please answer in English. So here's the instructions that it told me it has. It is instructed to reverse engineer any writing. So basically when I upload an example of writing, it will analyze it. And then it will give me some feedback on what that is, what the structure is. I can then ask it to imitate a particular type of writing, and that it should always respond in the language that the original text was uploaded. So I like this, but let's say this is kind of cool, but I want it to be able to do more. Now, this isn't my own GPT. I can either go and build one from scratch, or I can start by using what I have here. And let's go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to go over and create a new GPT. Now, again, I could say, I'd like you to build this for me, or I can go into the configure section and just do it myself. So I'm going to use this as sort of a starting point. And I could come up with a name. In fact, let's start with that. So create a writing style analyzer and imitator. I don't know if that is spelled correctly. Doesn't matter. ChatGPT can identify what I mean, even if I misspell something. So now this is what the dialogue portion of writing one of these things or creating one of these things looks like. It's going through the process of thinking about it, and it's going to then create the content and fill out those forms for us. So it said that it's set up. I already had planted some stuff in there. It's telling me some things that I might be able to ask it to do. All right. And now it's giving me sort of a place to play. I also, by the way, have the ability to upload or tell it to design an icon or a profile. Design a writing inspired profile pic. And again, some spelling errors there, but it doesn't matter. It's going to now say, oh, okay, I'm going to generate that profile picture for you. And it will suggest one and then ask me, do I like it? That's typically what I've seen so far. So now it's playing around with that. And this is because this is created. Yep, there we go. Writing style. Love it. Love it. There we go. So now it's over there. Okay. So now let's go back over into the configure section. And you'll see that it actually kept just the information that I had here, the stuff that I uploaded or copied from the other GPT. But I'm not sure that I am fully... actually, I don't have a name for this. So let's call this style analyzer. Okay. I'm going to ask it, suggest 10 more things you can do that I should consider adding to your instructions. And then if I want to give it some context for that, my goal is to provide top quality, consistent writing for clients who hire me to be their ghostwriter. Okay, so now it understands sort of what I'm in need of in order to sort of prepare this list of things that I'm going to be writing. So it's giving me some additional ideas that I might add, and I could read through this and say, which ones I like, which ones I don't. In this case, just for the sake of expedience and efficiency, I'm going to just copy this whole list. And we'll copy that and we'll drop it in here. So now I'm really building on what we originally had. Now I could also go back and rewrite this. I could give it some additional information, but in this case I'm just going to close it and I'm going to save it. Now when I save it, I have a few different options. I can save it just for myself. I can save it only to share with people with the link, or I can share it to the public, and that means that it's going to go into the store that is going to be built by or released sometime later this month. I'm just going to leave this the only people with link. It's now going through the process of updating this, and now I have the ability to use it. So I thought I would go over to, I had this open from this review that I was just reading here in the New York Times of this show called Watch Night, and I'm gonna actually, it says review right up here, so I'm gonna actually skip the title to see if it can figure out that it's a review, and I'm just gonna copy all the. Oops, I just want to copy the article. So, here we go. I'm just copying the content of the article, and I'm going back here, and I'm going to say, analyze this. And then I'm going to paste it, and let's see what it gets as a result. So it says it's a review of the performance of Watch Night, featuring a complex and analytical style, and then it is basically deciphering the style. The text is rich in detail, providing an immersive description of the setting, characters, and themes of the performance. It's actually going into detail of the specific content rather than just writing about the styles. So what if I said, write a review of I Love Lucy in this style, and see what it gives me as a result. Well, now it's using the phrasing, the structure, the concepts that it just shared here in terms of the writing style, and it's writing about I Love Lucy. It's using, the structure, it's using the phrasing, the types of words that were used in that particular review from the New York Times, and it is writing about a different subject. Now, I didn't give it as good a detailed question as I could. I could actually, give it a lot more information and tell it to be, super detailed and etc. But this is not a bad start to sort of understand how you can utilize this this approach and this new capability of ChatGPT. Now, this is something that we were able to do previously in ChatGPT, but you would have to do it in a particular chat, and you'd have to give all of the information about the persona of the GPT. But now they've basically given us the ability to go back to and regularly interact with various GPTs instead of what is sort of, they had this interim thing called custom instructions where you could do the same general thing. Now you can do it by utilizing your specific GPTs. And so that's a quick intro. I hope that you find it useful, and I hope that you go out and play around with this if you have the ChatGPT Plus capabilities. Take advantage of this and figure out, what are you doing in your business that you could use various predefined assistants to help with, so that you can interact with them in different ways to support your goals and the things that you're trying to accomplish with the help of AI. And if you'd like help with AI, please don't hesitate to reach out. My name is David Baer, and I'm with AI Coterie.